Technology. I think we're well past the time where we could really use some force multiplication for our technology group. And I think everyone's doing a good job. I think we can do better. And again, similarly, language to be flushed through the town attorney to assist the town of Hampton, executive staff, et cetera, with matters concerning technology within Hampton, the town of Hampton, and to serve again on an appointed basis at no expense to the town. And again, to sunset 3 years from now, 1 May 2015, unless extended by the board.
I like Phil's idea of the technology. I was on that kick before when Bill brought up the idea of everybody having laptops, and we sort of went through that little exercise. Now, I don't know if it'll work or not. Maybe iPads might work. I'm totally flexible on all this, but I do know one thing, okay? And this is, I'm going to do my own argument here real quick on point 2 about having this technology thing, is that I've been told that in Somersworth, the police car delivers the packet to the selectmen at the appropriate time. Well, I don't know if we need to do that. I think if we can do it all electronically, that big pile of stuff we have every week, it's an inch of paper, which is, has to be so many trees. I don't know how you figure that ratio out. I think we need to start moving over to a more electronic environment. And I'm an old person. If I can do it, you guys can do it, okay? I've been around a long time. Older than you, so there's no excuses except for accepted for age, okay? If you want to use some other excuse, that's fine. But either laptops or iPads, or you like your little, what's that little gizmo you have?
iPad.
You have an iPad? I thought you had a BlackBerry.
iPad.
Okay, an iPad. If you, and you like that. Does that bring everything you need to see?
Most everything I need.
If it was there, you could see everything. I think we need to look at that a little closer. Not saying it's sellable or doable.
Oh, it absolutely is. And more than looking at our faces all the time on the television camera, you can have a presentation and flow through websites and communicate much more effectively.
Exactly, like if there's a piece of paper we're talking about, we're all looking at, you can put that right on the screen. There's all kinds of things like you say, Phil. So I'm all for looking at technology like Phil says. I'll just put technology down, and we'll fuss over the details later.
That wasn't mentioned, but it fits in with the technology committee or whatever, is I'd like to see that, even though it's very nice the way that it is now, but if we could only revamp our town webpage in some way, make some improvements, maybe do something that might attract more hits from business and things like that. It's been brought up a lot of different ways during the meetings over the last year, that there are things that where we could definitely have a stronger web page. So that's something that maybe if we did have some type of a technology committee or whatever, that could be one of the focal points. So basically, recapping here.
Can I comment on that one?
Yeah.
First of all, I think the technology committee with input from other people beyond the scope of selectmen and whatever, I think is a real good idea. To the issue of the website, I did have a discussion with a combination of Mike Swotzer and Paul on the issue of the website. Paul is already doing some work in terms of what he can do to improve the website, even in the environment that we're currently in, which is a IIS environment running under Server 2008 or whatever. In other words, current technology that we're using. Not a big deal, but there's an opportunity to make improvements. What he's also doing is investigating other platforms. For example, if you go to I went around to 8 or 10 different municipal sites in New Hampshire, and the first 4 or 5, Concord, Portsmouth, Nashua, Manchester, kind of like ours, just very busy on the front page and hard to find things. But when I went to Keene, I was very pleasantly surprised in terms of both the layout of the website as well as the ability to find things. One of the things they had on there is a very effective search engine, literally up in the same class of technology as Google. One of the things I did in Keene was I went in and I found 4 or 5 bits of information by just digging down 3 and 4 levels into the website. Then I went back to the search engine and said, let me see if I can find that. Okay? And I did, within 30 seconds, 45 seconds, or whatever. So what Paul is also doing is he's working with Carla, the technology person in the school system. They're kind of combining their efforts there to see what alternatives might work in terms of something that's a little more powerful. And he's kind of, what he and I discussed, he's kind of targeted coming into us maybe sometime early May or whatever, just with, here's what I looked into and here's what I found. No decision, to make or whatever, but I just kind of hinted a little, and he just took the ball and
I was also going to suggest about looking at the school webpage. I mean, I've heard it mentioned from several people that they thought that they've done a pretty nice job over there.
Mr. Chairman, before you go on, Paul's already got a webpage already set up,
Yep.
so like a trial one, and I can share that that web address with you folks. And you can all, it's just one he put out there. What I like about it, it isn't so much that it's different, which it is. He's brought in some colors to sort of make it stand out a little differently.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
I mean, and the bad thing about it is it has all of our ugly pictures on it. I mean, all of our handsome pictures on it. My ugly picture, all of you handsome on it. I thought that has to go. But anyway.
I insist that goes.
Especially that ugly one by Mike Pierce. But I'll forward it all to you guys.
The technology committee or commission or whatever, or people that we want to get together for something like that, I think that sounds like that would be something really good and probably long overdue.